It's time for the Brouhaha Sports Show. Brouhaha Sports with award-winning sports writer Dale McKee and co-host Marshall Wood. Talking sports with the legends of the game and famous sports personalities. Brouhaha. Now to Marshall and Dale with tonight's guest.
Welcome to the Brouhaha, everybody. Marshall Wood along with Dale McKee, ready to talk some sports tonight. How's Dale tonight? Wired up and ready to go?
Oh, always.
Always wired up and ready to go.
I'm ready.
I read your sideline view.
Yeah, how'd you like it?
I like that. You always have a lot of interesting stuff in there.
I do?
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't bore you to death. Huh?
No, not to death. I mean,
I can bore you to death.
just a little bit, but not to death. Oh, like this baseball thing, man. You know, some of it's finishing up, some of it's just getting really cranked up real big. You know, the academies are finished up, and the high school association is getting ready to get cranked up this week. Of course, we talked to Tyler some about that last week. I know. Tell us about your guest. I want to go ahead. Let's wait on him. Wait on him. Southern Mississippi had a nice outing. You know, with what was that, Middle Tennessee?
Yes, they did.
You know, and they needed that.
You know, they won. They outscored them 36-4 in 3 games. And Middle Tennessee's not that bad. They were like middle of the pack of the conference and everything. Had I want to say they had 16, 17 wins going into this weekend, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
But that was Southern's 24th straight win over them.
Wow. Well,
how about that?
That puts them at 41 for the year.
Yeah, 41 wins. So that's that's like 10 40-win seasons in history for them, and that's awesome. And they won their 6th conference regular season title, and they'll be going for their 6th tournament title.
And I believe I read where you said they're the only team that's been in all of them.
Every one of them.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
How about them Golden
Because
Eagles?
they don't invite everybody to the dance.
Yeah.
You got to get a special invite.
Yeah.
You got to earn your way.
Got to earn your way in. We're speaking of which, we flip over to the defending national champion Mississippi State Bulldogs. They're not in on the SEC tournament, are they?
No, and I don't know when the last time they weren't in an SEC tournament. I know their last really big losing season was back in 2010. So that was probably right as John Cohen got it down there as a baseball coach, and so I mean they're a great program. They'll definitely be back. I mean they've got everything that they need. They've got a great facility. They've got a great reputation, and now players will know, hey, I can go there and play now. Maybe I'm sure they'll have a lot of turnovers and stuff like that.
Yeah. To wind up the big three, so to speak. We look at the Ole Miss Rebels. They seem to be coming around at about as good a time as any to come around. Yeah,
they. You know what? You could give up a show. I was talking to a Mississippi State fan the other day, and he said, "Well, we mailed it in." Well, that's to me that's a great testament to the Ole Miss coaching staff. Those fellows up there did not mail it in. They kept battling, ended up with a 14-16 SEC record. I know it wasn't a winning season, but at one time they were buried in last place, and so they really have come on and, won 7 of their last 9 SEC games.
Yeah.
And so, but the thing about it is they still need to win at least 1, maybe 2 games over at the tournament to make sure that they get into the NCAAs.
Yes.
Now, I've seen where they were a number 3 seed out in the Stanford region by some, and the same guy that I was reading an article on had Southern Miss hosting a regional, not a super regional, but a regional, and they were going to have LSU and Clemson and Belmont. I'm thinking, you think there's enough seating for them LSU fans down there?
Yeah.
Those scalpers I'm gonna go buy me a ticket so I can scalp it.
Make a little money.
Yeah.
We're just kidding, folks. We don't
endorse scalping.
That's what I was trying to say when I was looking over my shoulder to make sure nobody was looking. But anyway, quick roundup on the collegiate softball for the state's Big Three. I mean,
yeah, I think I don't think Southern Miss made any headway in postseason. I think that Ole Miss lost in the UCLA regional to UCLA, who is number 6 team in the country. So they had a good outing out there and represented the university well. And then Mississippi State surprised everybody.
There we go. That's what I wanted to hear.
Okay, they go down to Florida State. Florida State's number 2 team in the country, 54-5 going into the tournament, and they end up with two losses to Mississippi State on the same day in their home park.
How about them dogs?
And so it was great. And they're going to host the regional this week, which I think I made a mistake in my column. I thought they were going to Arizona, but they're going to host Arizona this weekend in Starkville. So that's great. That's great for Mississippi. So,
Well, Dale, I appreciate that quick recap. Tell us about our guest right quick coming up tonight. Who you
all
got
right,
for us?
we have Jack Dunagan. He is the SID Sports Information Director at Southern Miss. He's considered an assistant athletic director. He kind of follows the football and the baseball team around. So he's going to give us an insight on the conference tournament this week down there and how people get tickets, and, all that kind of good stuff.
All righty.
Stuff that people need to know.
Well, people who are in the know do know, ain't that right?
Let's get that.
Well, I tell you what, let's take a break to hear from some of our sponsors, and we're going to be right back after this word with tonight's guest, Jack Dunagan, the SID for the University of Southern Mississippi. We'll be back with you after this break.
Phillips Building Supply in Laurel, your hometown building supply store since 1954. We are locally owned and pride ourselves on helping our customers find exactly what they need. From foundations to roofs to doors and windows, Phillips has it. For tools, hardware, lumber, and plywood, visit Phillips Building Supply.
Welcome to the show, Jack. How you doing, Jack?
I'm doing great. Yourself?
I'm doing good. We've already had a little introduction with you and told people all about you, so they know everything about you. But Marshall and I have a few questions for us. But, hey, you got a big week down there in Hattiesburg this week, don't you?
Well, we do. We have Conference USA tournament coming into town starting Wednesday. Hopefully the rain will stay away Wednesday and Thursday, and we can get in some great games. I tell you what, it should be a great balanced field in Hattiesburg, and I know our fans love when we host it. It'll be I think the 7th time we've hosted it in Conference USA since 1996, and of course this will be our last hurrah with Conference USA. So we get to host the first and the last ones we were in, or years we were in. So we're excited. We're excited about having 7 really quality baseball programs back in Hattiesburg, and looking forward to a great week of baseball.
Hey, everybody else is too. Well, listen, this year, you've been around the team probably since the beginning of the year. What is did you kind of know going into this year, after you lost some good pitching prospects last year, that this team might be another 40-win season?
Well, you never know. You hope that would be the case, but when you lose from a year ago, you lose your top 2 starters, you lose your top reliever, and then you lose your top home run and RBI guy. But you still return a really great nucleus of players. Both position players and pitchers, and you'd hope that what we could put together from guys that we had and newcomers that have joined us, that would all mesh together. And I tell you what, it really has. I mean, you could tell when we lost Reese Ewing and Slade Wilkes for a little bit of time, how our chemistry offensively kind of just sort of went away. We had trouble scoring runs there for a while. But I tell you what, if you told me we'd have done as well pitching-wise that we have, I would have probably said, no, I don't think that's going to be the case. But we may even pitch it better than we did a year ago, if that's possible. Yeah,
I've told many people on this show over the course of the baseball season, they are comparable to an SEC pitching staff with the year that they've had. Let me ask you something else. Okay, going into the weekend series up there at Middle Tennessee, I thought Middle Tennessee, middle of the pack, they weren't that big a team, but Southern Miss went up there and just I don't know, 36-4 for the weekend, and the amazing thing is that Southern's beat them 24 straight times now. That's almost unbelievable.
It's almost unheard of. It's funny. it's funny, since they joined Conference USA back in 2014, they beat us 13-1 in the first game we ever played them. That was at Pete Taylor Park for opening series of Conference USA play with them, and we went and have won every game since, 24 straight times, believe it or not. And that's I'm not sure how many people have had that sort of success over another school like that in college baseball. I can't think of any off the top of my head, but I mean, we've just I guess we've had their number. We've played really well at times. We've gotten lucky at times, but we've always seemed to find a way to win when it's come against the Blue Raiders.
Well, just asking this question out of curiosity more than anything else, is there an opponent that we have that's kind of dominated us in Conference USA over the years? I know the Rice back in the day in Houston maybe, had some really good teams, but is there any one of the recent teams that really gives us trouble? How about this UAB team coming in here Wednesday?
Well, I mean, we lost two or three over there. And it seems like after they beat us, they haven't played real well.
Yeah.
I don't know what the cause is there, but again, it goes back. We had a couple guys out for injury. We didn't pitch it very well that weekend, but we did still find a way to win one game, and UAB is a tough environment to play in. There's not a lot of fans. You're in an urban setting. It's just kind of a different place to play, and I know for some reason we've always had trouble playing well there. I mean, we've gone over there and had some success, but we've also gone over there and gotten it handed to us as well too. So it's just it's one of those things. I mean, we'll come out Wednesday, we'll be ready to play, and we'll have a mostly Southern Miss packed house, cheering the Gold Eagles on, and certainly that'll come into play, and hopefully we'll score enough runs to win and move on. And if you look, this will be the fourth time we've been a number one seed in the tournament. We are 12-2 as a number one seed in the three previous trips, which would be 2003 2003 we went 4-0. 2017 we went 4-2, and then 2018 we went 4-0. So, and we've been to the championship game in all three times that we were the number one seed. So, hopefully we can do that again, this week, and to help our chances, in terms of where we're going to put us in the postseason.
Sure. Is one question about that number one seeds things. When Southern qualified for the World Series back in Corky Palmer's last season, were they in the number one seed? Did they win the tournament that year?
No, we were not. We were not the one seed. In fact, I think we were about a 3 or a 4, if I remember correctly. And that team only won 40 games, so they won their 39th and 40th in the Super Regional, down in Gainesville. If you look at it, we were probably about as borderline to get in that 09 team. I think we were in the 50s in RPI that year when we got in, if I remember correctly. It's been a little while now, about 13 years, but
yeah.
And I wasn't doing baseball then, so. But yeah, we got hot at the right time and played well in the tournament. Lost to Rice here in the final that year. Rice was the number one seed in that tournament, and I don't know if you remember this, but we started the championship game I think about 11 or 11:30 because they were expecting rain. So we started a couple hours early, and Rice was able to hold on, but we still got in that large bit that year, and we went to Georgia Tech and just played lights out, and earned the right to go to a super regional, and then we beat Florida down there, and we made our only trip to Omaha. And so Omaha I did get to make that trip, and I tell you what, it was quite a thrill. It's quite an event to be able to be a part of that. I'll tell you what, it's a cool deal. One of the coolest deals I've ever been a part of in my life. There's no doubt.
Well, that's great. And, that year, too, I remember this, probably USM, one of their better players, Brian Dozier, he got hurt in the season, and he didn't even get to play in the playoffs, I don't think.
No, he didn't. He got I think he got a late pinch hit in the College World Series.
Uh-huh.
I don't even remember what he did, to be honest. But I think maybe he got a single. But
sure.
Yeah, he got hurt late, and your Corky announced his retirement about the start of May, and after that happened, we got sort of hot, kind of went it for Corky, and that's what they did, and they just kept playing. They played their hearts out, and it showed. And it was pretty magical. It was a pretty magical run for us. So, and it's definitely part of, our I wouldn't say long baseball history, I think, but a history that it continues to grow and thrive. So, I mean, if you go back to 1986, we've only had one losing season since then. So, we've had six straight 41 seasons now, with our sweep over the weekend at Middle Tennessee. So, I could go on and on and on. I could spout numbers at you all day, but I'll try not to do that.
Well, with those kind of numbers, this is Marshall, Jack. With those kind of numbers as a USM grad, go, go, go. I love hearing them. That's a good thing. I wanted to ask. Go ahead.
It really is, Mark. I mean, it's just, I tell you, the success that we've had, especially over the last 10, 12 years. I mean, you look at it. You look under Scott Berry. We've won 5 of our 6 Conference USA championships. 41 seasons. We had a little bit of a lull there. The first part of the last decade, but once we hit 2016, we really hit our stride. Our 2017 team was really good. 2018 team was really good. And this team is very talented, especially on the pitching side. Our pitching has really led us, and although our hitting has come on as well, but we definitely have a special pitching staff. We've got probably 8-9 arms that could really get people out. So, and for the first time in our school's history, we've gone over 600 strikeouts in the season.
Wow.
Well, another thing about that Middle Tennessee series, the first 2 games, USM pitchers did not allow a walk. Did they allow any Saturday? That final game?
No, I think we gave up 2 the whole series. I think it was like 30-2 in strikeouts, or strike out the walks over the weekend.
That is phenomenal.
But we don't walk anybody. I mean, we've walked 139 batters in 55 games. That's pretty. I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's a little over 2 a game.
That's less than 3 a game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, listen. A final question about this year's team before we get into some particulars about the future play of USM. What player on the team came through that most people didn't expect to, maybe having a season they didn't really expect from him, and he's just really, really done well? Is there any overachievers this year on the team?
I don't know about that. I mean, have there been some surprises? I think.
Yeah, that's basically the question.
I don't know if they thought that Carson Pato would be as good as he has been this early as a freshman.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think he had a chance to play this year, but he's really blossomed. Into a really good player, nice power hitting right fielder for the Golden Eagles. That's able to, late Slade Wilkes DH, and he's done really well in that role. And I'm trying to think. I think Reese Ewing has really come into his own. I mean, he had a good year last year, but he has really been a solidifying force on an offense. I mean, just look what we've done since he's come back. I mean, I mean, he's drawn walk after walk after walk, and then when he's got good pitches to hit, he has made opposing pitchers pay. You know, a couple of home runs. He's got a couple doubles since he's back. You know, his on base percentage is creeping up towards 500. So I mean, he's been good for us. I mean, you can go on and on the list. You know, Landon Harper. You know, who's kind of emerged as our closer. 10 saves on the year. Dalton Rogers has been really good for us. You know, I mean, you could just keep going. I mean, we don't. If you look at us, you go, we're not. It's not a team of stars. Okay, it really isn't. It's a team that plays well together. You know, they have different guys step up at different times, and they're fun to watch. I mean, that you could tell that they enjoy playing with each other on the field, and it's been a good group to watch. I mean, you know, they haven't killed a lot of people. I mean, if you look at it, I think, you know, we've had 24 of our games decided by 2 runs or less, and I think we're 15-9 in those games. So there's been some tightness, but it's a group that's played together it's a young group, but it's a group that's played together for a long time. I mean, the COVID year, they only got 16 games in, but that was a whole year they were together. And so you've got McGillis, you've got Danny Lynch, you've got Dustin Dickerson that's now been there for 3 years. So, you know, Laurel product, he's another kid you could talk about of having, you know, a breakout season. You know, 22 doubles, tied for 9th in our single season charts record. You know, he's played really well defensively for us. And, you know, he's a guy that before the season started, he said, hey, I think I could be the number two guy in the order. And he has done that and done it very, very well. And so, you know, I mean, I could brag on these guys all day. They're fun to be around. They're fun to watch play, and I've really enjoyed traveling with them.
This is Marshall again, and on that fun part, I kind of want to touch back here a little bit. I look at USM and I look at the coaches, at the last 3 coaches. I mean, it's just phenomenal what they've had running the program over there. And I look at the 40-win seasons, seem to just pile up. And I just want to ask you, how are the fans responding to this? Or how's attendance? I mean, I think I read an article on that the other day.
We've probably got something coming out tomorrow on that, but. I mean, we've drawn over 133,000. I don't know if we've ever have to go back and look, but I don't know if we've ever drawn that many in a season. We established a single game record for attendance, not once but twice this year.
That's phenomenal.
For our Louisiana Tech series earlier this year, we had over 16,000, which is a 3-game series or a 3-game weekend record. So our fans have really enjoyed it. They enjoy the magic of Pete Taylor Park, and it's a fun place to come watch a game. It really is. We just added a new feature at the ballpark, a new video board that has really dressed things up. You know, gives our fans interactive stuff. They can see what all the kids stats are in real time. They get to see. Replays now and then. They get to see, some other stuff, and we're keeping building on that, and you just never know. I mean, there's always going to be something new at Pete Taylor Park, something better that we have tried to improve the field, not only for our players but also for our fans, and make it the best possible viewing experience, fan experience that we can.
I'm sorry, Dale, I blocked Dale out right here. I apologize for that, but I did want to ask you, I know we're getting a little short of time, but I wanted to back up here and look to the future a little bit, if I'm not out of line doing that, about what we're going to be looking like in the new alignments, new conferences and things like that, and what's your twist on that in USM baseball?
Well, I think Sunbelt Sun Belt Conference baseball is a great product. I mean, it's going to hurt us in terms of finding midweek games, but other than that, I mean, because South Alabama, you played during the midweek. Louisiana Lafayette was a midweek game. Sometimes we even played Louisiana Monroe, but now all those guys are going to start being weekend series, and it's going to build. I think it'll build our regional rivalries a lot better. I mean, granted, I'll say this: Old Dominion, great baseball program, but our fans don't necessarily care about Old Dominion. But when, say, Louisiana Lafayette or South Alabama comes to town for a 3-game set, I think there's a little bit more there, and I think our fans would say the same. And I think I think the majority of our fans are excited about the move, and I think it'll be good for us. It'll be fun in terms of having quality opponents to play every weekend, and you've got to bring your best baseball every weekend. You can't take a weekend off, so it's going to be fun. There's a lot of great programs in the Sun Belt. Coastal Carolina, which won a national championship in the last 10 years. You've got Georgia Southern, who's traditionally a great program. You've got Texas State, who's the number 1 seed this year in their tournament, who's nationally ranked from San Marcos, Texas. You got Louisiana Lafayette, who's always good. South Alabama's always good. Troy is a member of that league. There's schools within driving distance that our fans will be able to go and watch, watch some baseball on the weekend. Which, heck, what's a better way to spend a weekend than watching some baseball?
There you go. Well, listen, one final question. What do you think about what does USM have to win the conference tournament to host a regional, or could they still host without winning the tournament?
I think we could host without winning. I don't think we could go 2 and out. I think that would hurt us.
Yeah.
But we're the only school in the league that's ever won at least one game in all 25 tournaments.
Yeah.
So
that's
I think we'd have to go. I think we'd have to go deep in our tournament for us to host. Do I think we necessarily have to win it? Now, this is just me talking. I don't have anything
I understand
behind this.
Sure.
I don't think we necessarily have to win it, but I think the further that we go, the better our chances are.
There you go. Okay, well, listen, we really appreciate your time, and thank you for joining the show with us today. And maybe we'll have you back closer to football, but we wish you luck. Hope a lot of people come to the Peep this week and buy some popcorn, and ice cream's not bad down there either. Especially when you get it in the little helmet.
No, it's not, is it?
Especially when you get in a little helmet there. All right. Well, listen, thank you, Jack. I appreciate having you on the show.
Jack,
Thanks, guys. Y'all have a great day.
We appreciate it. We appreciate Jack being with us tonight. And but we got to take a break to hear from some of our sponsors. And Dale and I will be back for the final segment right after the break.
Phillips Building Supply in Laurel, your hometown building supply store since 1954. We are locally owned and pride ourselves on helping our customers find exactly what they need. From foundations to roofs to doors and windows, Phillips has it. For tools, hardware, lumber, and plywood, visit Phillips Building Supply.
Welcome back, everybody, for our final segment tonight. It's going to be short and sweet, Dale. Short and sweet, but old Jack Dunagan, he knows what's going on at USM, doesn't he?
He's been there a long time.
I know we're a little short of time, but I just can't help but talking about brouhahas. To me, I'm finding it real interesting between some of the brouhahas that are going on over, like with maybe, let's see, like maybe Nick Saban and some coach out there in Texas named Jimbo Fisher.
But you don't want to be fined by the commissioner, do you?
No, I mean, commissioner's coming in, he's putting them on lockdown, he's putting a ban on Lane Kiffin because he's throwing stuff. Man, this is, talk about a brouhaha. Now, the SEC, Sankey's stepping up and shutting everybody down. Boy, we got it going on. I heard Nick talking about parity. Parity.
Do you know the true definition of that?
Well, I do, and I looked it up, and what I looked up was parity is the state or condition of being equal. Now, Nick's worrying about parity. Boy, he's sitting in the wrong place to be worried about parity. There hadn't been any parity with Alabama and anybody else in the past, I don't know how long. I don't know what he's supposed about. Now, I'm not hating on Alabama. Don't get me wrong.
It's been at least 12, 13 years. No, I laughed at that when I saw it, because I'm thinking, what is he trying to do here, But anyway, but I thought it was funny that Jimbo Fisher out at A&M and Deion Sanders at Jackson State, when he called both of them, they wouldn't answer the phone. They won't talk to him. Deion said he would only do it in a public forum where everybody could hear the conversation. Yeah. So Deion's after him a little bit.
Yeah, Jimbo kind of after him. Of course, when you're the top dog, everybody's after you. I read this article, and I'm just going to do a quick deal. One line here. It says, control what you can control is the mantra of one Nick Saban. And it says here in this article, he's lost control of the critical component to his 6 national championships at Alabama, recruiting. NIL and transfer portal changing everything. He sees the writing on the wall, and buddy, I don't blame him. He don't like it one bit.
Well, the commissioner came out Monday of this week, and I read an article on him, and he's not happy with the way it's going now because a lot of these NILDs are straight cash.
Yeah,
and that's what he's very concerned about. And Alabama was mentioned in there along with several other schools as maybe being guilty of this. I don't know if they are or not, but that was what was in the article. So it should be interesting summer when they get together for SEC media and when they play each other.
Yeah. I read this, I'm going to cut it down. NIL deals are mostly commandeered by collectives, which are groups of boosters pooling money to pay players for jobs performed. The jobs are limitless. They can just about anything. Folks, that's not the way it was intended when it was set up, but in the reality, that's the way it is. But you know what? We got a little brouhaha going on there, but we're going to have to shut her down. Brouhahas, our time is come and gone, but take heart, for Dale and I will be back next week. Same brouhaha time, same brouhaha channel for more of, you guessed it, the brouhaha. But now it's time, you know what time it is. It's time to say goodbye, Dale.
Goodbye, Dale.
And that's a wrap. Take us out of here, Jamie.
You've been listening to the Brouhaha with Dale McKee and Marshall Wood. Heard Tuesday evening, 6 p.m. on WABO. For more of the Brouhaha, follow us during the week on Facebook and WABO.